from Atomari TV. Stand by for a Japanese toy review. So the subject of today's show is about features toy modeling, dioramas, and accessory props for your action figures and some of your models as well. I've got a selection of stuff here. I'm going to briefly talk about each of these. Then I've got one in particular, this one, that we're going to actually put together. But I'm not, stop! I'm not going to put together all of these, but I'm going to talk about them so to get you into it. This is taken off, this has been, the last couple of years, this has taken off in Japan. As you know, of course, Japanese are wild, they're crazy about Gundam, Gundam Wing, Gundam. The Gundam whole Gundam universe, and they're building the models and stuff. My son loves to do that. And so some of these guys decided to make diorama posing things and other props that fit with the Gundams that are being built. Sort of, you know, because there are a lot of people like me who are too lazy to actually build my own diorama, like a background. A diorama, you know, a background to show you, pose your stuff. Real cool set of this. See here, the toys are just on the shelf. They're not like in the universe. It's really cool if you make the universe, the spaceship or whatever, where they are. So let's look at some of these things I brought back from Japan. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is this like H hanger by Wave. I built one of these a couple years ago, and there's a video out there about this. This is so easy to put together, it just clips. There's no cutting or anything like that involved. And I liked it so much, I haven't decorated, I haven't finished it with any paints or stickers, decals, but I intend to do that. But I liked it so much, and it seemed to fit my action figures so well, that I went and I bought 3 more. I bought these 2, and then I got 1 more. Oh, no, that's Octo, that's not the same. But I bought 2 more, so I can make like a really big one maybe. Yeah, we're gonna try that. Yeah, see, because if you got, it says if you've got 3 or if you got 4 sets. So I've only got 3. If you got 3, you can do stuff like this. I don't know. You need 4 sets to make this. I don't want to make it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna try something. But anyway, that's not. Oh, okay. While we're with the big ones, and there's this other one called Octagon, which looks like a spaceship corridor, right? Something you would see in Star Wars, like, you know, when Darth Vader was choking out, you know, the people, you know, like Princess Leia. So Octagon, and it's by Wave, right? This Wave, you don't know who they are unless you're Japanese. They're one of many modeling support kit kind of companies in Japan, small guys, I'm sure. I've never seen them at a toy show, but they're hobby, and so this is like 1/60 millimeters, whatever that is. So I got 3 of them. Although one of them may be a darker shade, it may not fit, but I got 3 so we can see what happens if your big figures will fit in there. And then while I'm here, and this is still in frame, yeah. And then Tomy Tech. Tomy makes a lot of stuff, right? Tomy, Takara Tomy. Well, this Tomy Tech, it's related, but not. These are like guns, you know. Maybe you don't like guns. If you like guns, they're cool. These are 1:12 scale. 1 inch equals 1 foot, which is pretty much the same as your Marvel Legends, DC Universe Classic. 6 foot human would be 6 inches, so it would be a little big for like pure human size figure. But they've been putting these out for a while. So there's a little machine gun. There's a big sniper rifle. Here's a rocket launcher, AT-4, and here's one of those classic M4 carbines. And this young lady has it's a European rifle as well. But you don't get all the accessories; you just get the rifle. So that would be good to put together and to make accessories for my action figures. And then this one, these guys, another one of these small companies that you never heard of. Modeling Support Goods is the name of the company, Modeling Support Goods. And it's called Mechanical Chain Base, R. Yeah, so, and it's definitely, it's very much for the Gundams, right? But that means the Gundams are about the same size as your standard, your regular action figure. Well, they're larger than most action figures, but they're about the size of your Marvel, the larger size Marvel figures, like the Marvel Legends, etc. So Yeah, you get this, and it looks like the hanger thing. See, and then the Gundam comes wheeling out, and the things are there, assembling the Gundam. Yeah, this is by Kotobukiya. Kotobukiya, well-known company for their modeling new stuff, and they do some action figures as well. To go along with the H hanger, I got these posing arm things that kind of scale to fit into the H hanger. So you can do that like you're putting your Gundam together or servicing whatever. Right? Okay, yeah. Okay, and then I've done them before. I've done shows talking about the posing arm. This is kind of hit on too. It used to be in the olden days, if you wanted to pose your figures, if you wanted to get them to stand up, like your dolls, okay, and your action figures, like your big G.I. Joes, you had to get a doll stand. And that's okay, but it's a doll stand. It's not cool. They don't, for one thing, they don't support flying. These do. They've been putting these out for a while. These are by Bandai. And you can, assuming that you can get, that it fits in someplace into your action figure. The problem is that a lot of these are designed to fit into points that exist, as far as I know, only on Gundams. So that's been a problem sometimes. Like this one, no. This one, and this is by another company, Evolution Toy, and it comes with a little clampy thing. So you can clamp it around your action figure's waist and fly them that way, see? That kind of thing. Same with this. And again, this one has the clampy things. I think I did a show on these before too. Okay, don't go away yet. Okay, and then this is what I'm going to do today, the rest of the show, okay? I got these come from, where did they come from? Bandai Tamashii Nations, okay? Option active building. A little strange on how they describe stuff, but what it is like you got your big action figure and he's rampaging, you know, like in the Thor movie where he's got the guy rampaging in the desert and through the little town, right? So it's like your little town, your little city. And it's scaled down real small, so your action figure can be rampaging through the city. And they got two kinds. They got one regular kind before the bad guy got there, and then the damaged version, you know, for when the bad guy gets there and he starts damaging stuff. And it's, you know, we'll see what it looks like. And I got two of these, so I can build a little bit of a larger city than normal. Okay. All right. Let's have a look. Well, here's what you get when you pull it out. Comes with some directions. You don't need that. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. Anyway, the directions are in Japanese. They're going to be useless to you. It couldn't be easier. Look, it's got some little pegs. It's got some little building parts and things. Couldn't be easier. Let's see. Okay, so here's 4 sets put together. Generally, the tallest of the buildings is going to be 3 1/4 inches tall. That's going to be also about 9 millimeters. Okay, how big do you want your monster to be? You know, on the scene, it's up to you. We'll check some of my figures here and see how they look. What they give you a bunch of these little clips that are supposed to hold. This is 4 sets together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. These little clips are meant to hold the bases together. I found they didn't work very good at all. They also come with these little pegs that go in here on the bottoms. It's okay if I just leave that in. These little pegs will come out and they fit into the bottoms of the building, so you can rearrange the buildings. You could also take off the road section. You can take the road sections off and just use the base. And this base size fits with some of the posing arms that are put out by various companies. So you can use posing arms to have your Gundam or whatever flying, you know, over the city. The damaged ones are down here. Yeah, they're pretty damaged. Obviously, these would look a lot better dressed up with some nice paint. Here, let me turn on my light here and see if we can. Yeah, obviously, some paint would dress this up a lot more. Yeah, it's up to you how much. I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to put a lot. You know, I'm glad to just put it together. Then I had this, and we'll see. Well, let's look at it with some figures, and I'm going to focus up real tight so that we can get a little depth of field. Do you understand depth of field with a camera? So we'll see if we can get some of the background to kind of blur out a little bit. Hang on. The newer Star Wars figures are so short now. They don't look that bad in this scene now. They're kind of, if you imagine Star Wars guys getting huge. Some of my mini Star Wars figures that came from game machines, from Gashapon, they're okay in the scene too, I guess, if you would consider Kylo Ren as a giant. Yeah, and then it's always fun to have the walkers, right, coming down the street, and that's not a bad thing, I think. Yeah, and then you can see him between the buildings, kind of, you know, coming down the street. Yeah, that's okay. He doesn't really, he slides, yeah. And then you can have my little mini tanks, and my little mini tanks, I can get a little column of tanks, but they're kind of giant tanks. I don't know, but they would be the ones who damaged these buildings. A little column of tanks coming down the street there. Yeah, I don't know. And then your standard size action figures, they would be about the right giant size, I guess. They're not too huge, right? And they do still tower. I'm sorry if I'm pressing forearms. He's a good guy, right? But I'm pressing him in the service. But I do have some, here's Vilgax from Ben 10. And yeah, and he would be a bad guy. And he's appropriately huge in the scene here. Let me focus him a little bit. There you go. The Vilgax is destroying the city. And then I got this one, what was this guy's name? Calliope or something? Cassiope, I forget. He's from the older series, the original series. And he's the closest thing I've got to a Godzilla in my toy wall here. And, but the little minifigures, here's a mini Vilgax. Yeah, and he's been pounding on the city, sure. He's been pounding. He's in a dynamic kind of a pose there. Sure. Yeah, and a Hex. Is Hex that powerful to destroy the city? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Well, did you like that? I hope so. Hit the subscribe button. If you want to comment, I'm afraid you'll have to use my Instagram channel because YouTube won't let you comment here anymore. Let me know how my hair is looking, okay? And until next time, well, we got a big one coming up next week. A big one, my most dangerous experiment yet for Ben 10 is featuring transforming shock rock. And until then, have a great day.
To kill me, I guess I'm doing okay. I'm lost among the millions, just an empty head filled with the sky. I separated my life between the boring